Hi everyone, welcome back to Quirky Pineapples. If you're new here, I'm Vina, a plant-based recipe developer and food blogger. And today I am sharing with you how I grew and monetized my YouTube channel in 8 months while working a full-time job. Disclaimer for all my food girlies, don't worry, I'll be back with food content next week. So a little bit of background about me. I officially started my YouTube channel in August of 2023. However, I was not consistent and I didn't take it as seriously until January of 2024. I committed to posting a video every week. And then at that point, I had about 24 subscribers when I started being more consistent in January. But unfortunately, I wasn't getting a lot of traction and I was only getting about 50 to 100 views per video and very little watch hours until March of this year when I decided to kind of take a look at my analytics and do some strategizing and come up with an actual plan. And then in March of 2024, I posted a video based off of what I found to make sense for me. And my particular niche, and that video, it gained more than 7,000 views, 250 subscribers, and I was able to gain 700 watch hours just from that one video toward my goal. As I continued with this strategy, I was able to reach 1,000 subscribers by July. So 4 months into that, using the strategy, I was able to gain 1,000 subscribers and I hit my monetization mark of gaining 4,000 hours within 8 months of starting that strategy. Here's what I did to get there. So number one is choosing a niche or focus. It is really important for YouTube to know what kind of content you're making because it needs to know what kind of audience to send your way. And so you'll want to choose a niche. Like for example, my niche is vegan food / plant-based food, and I have content pillars. And content pillars are basically a blueprint for the type of content that you're going to make. So in my case, that's vegan food and recipes. That's going to be inspiration by using what I eat in a day. Some vegan travel, and then because I am a food blogger, I do like to share some of the behind the scenes of being a food blogger. So those are my content pillars. So you would want to figure those things out so that you can tell YouTube and the people that are watching you what they can expect from your channel. Number two, your channel setup. Don't skip the little things. It might not seem like much, but carefully and thoughtfully taking the time to set up your channel, doing your banner, your photo, your description, and making sure to put a clear, nice photo of yourself on your YouTube channel is really important. What this does is kind of tell YouTube that you're a serious creator, and it also shows potential subscribers and viewers that you're a serious creator. So doing your banner is pretty simple because you can create that in Canva. You can use the free version of that. It doesn't have to be anything too fussy, but your banner should include things like, maybe how often you're going to post, just like some brief buzzwords of what your channel is about. Make sure your photo is clear and you're the only person in that photo, unless of course you have other people on your channel with you. And then of course your description. You want your description to be a little bit about yourself and what people can find on your channel, what they can look forward to seeing you upload. So that should be a place where you are using some keywords about your niche. And don't worry, we'll talk a little bit more about keywords as we move forward. All right, next up is cameras and tools. And so I know a lot of people will say, well, you can film on anything, right? You can film on your iPhone. There's, the handy dandy, the Osmo Pocket 3, there's vlogging cameras. There's so many different things that you can film with. However, I feel like the one thing that people don't talk about is knowing how to use those things. So no matter what it is that you're using, definitely take time to learn how to use it. So a few things that I've used, like for example, what I'm filming on right now is the Sony FX30. This one's actually a cinema camera. And the reason that I have access to a cinema camera is because my husband is a cinematographer. He does videography and he runs a production company. However, even though I started out filming my food videos on this camera, absolute wonderful quality, as you can see, but without all of the other things that I implemented, it didn't matter how great quality those videos were. It was probably helpful that they were good quality, but without implementing all the other steps that I'm going to talk about, it was, great to have that great quality video, but if no one was looking for it, then it didn't really help. But besides that, it kind of also goes to show that yes, you can use practically anything, but you want to know how to use it. So I've used the Osmo 330 on a few videos, and I might insert some clips. Earlier on, when I was doing some vlogs and things like that, where I was experimenting still with YouTube, I used the Sony, this one is the Sony Alpha 7 II. I think they're up to the 3 now. And this one was actually really nice to film on. And then of course, I use my iPhone sometimes, especially when I'm filming out and about and I'm a little nervous about filming in public with like a big camera or anything like that. I've pulled out my iPhone before, which is totally okay. Now that I have this, I feel like I'll probably use this a little bit more, but if there's anything I can say about whatever camera that it is that you're using, just learn how to use it to the best of its ability. Get your money's worth out of it, right? There's free resources here on YouTube. That's one of the reasons you're here. You're finding a resource, right? But look at those videos, learn how to use the camera, learn how to get those settings the way that you need them to for different types of lighting. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. And usually once you set it once, you can kind of forget it, especially if you're filming the same types of content or you're shooting in the same types of lighting and different things like that. And then as far as like my mic, I'm using my Rode mic, which, simple, super easy to find. But if I'm using the Osmo, then I'll use the mic that came with it. I think I got the creator package with that one and it came with the mic. Another thing that I noticed that isn't discussed is SD cards and editing software as much as I feel like people should. So for example, for the camera that I'm using, which shoots in 4K, and so does that Osmo, and so can your phone, I use the ProGrade 128 gig, 250 megabyte SD card. And so that holds the capacity of what it is that I'm filming. So as I'm, I have my iPad on the side here and it shows me what I look like on camera. I expect for when I upload the video or download the video off of the camera onto my editing software, that video looks exactly the same as how I filmed it. And then of course, you want to make sure that you have enough storage. 4K videos are a lot of storage, so you want to make sure that you have enough storage. So an external hard drive is going to help with that. Otherwise, you'll run into problems with editing videos and not having enough storage for those videos, which can be a huge pain in the rump. But you want to make sure that your SD cards can handle what it is that you're filming so that you have the best possible quality. And then as you're moving that video through different things, so for example, if you're sending it over to Final Cut Pro, or you are using CapCut, or you're using Davinci or some other type of editing software, make sure that when you're editing, that you're editing it in 4K and you're downloading it back in 4K so that you have all of the quality that you started with. And that's just because a lot of the software will go with the lowest quality to compress the file for you so that it can quickly give you the file, and so that whatever it is that you're putting it on can hold the file. But you don't want that. That's why you have an external hard drive, so it can hold that big file. And watch videos to get tutorials on the best way to use those tools so that you get the absolute best out of it and you don't waste money. But don't be intimidated, because once you've watched enough YouTube videos, I'd say maybe 2 or 3, a lot of times you're in it and you know what to do. So your 4th step will be planning your content. And this part can be fun, right? So a few different ways that you're going to plan your content is you're going to research other creators that are making videos that are in your niche. and a part of your content pillars. You're going to use SEO and a little bit of keyword research, and don't worry, it's not as hard as it seems. And you're going to look for trending topics. So of course, anything that you're putting up, of course, needs to be educational, inspirational, or entertaining. We all know that. We've heard that a lot by now. And so within whatever niche that you've chosen, like mine is food, of course, that vegan food, I took time to look at other creators that I admire that were doing a really good job on YouTube and really engaging well with their audience, to see what it was that they might have been doing. Now, it's really important that we're just doing this for inspiration and not to copy other creators. That's not what we want to do. But we want to take a look at what it is that they're doing and what's working, and also like how are they bringing value to their community, right? So for me, if it's, well, it's not if, it is vegan food, then how am I bringing value to the people who are looking up vegan recipes or looking to figure out what they want to eat or trying to get inspiration for what they're going to eat in their day? So how can I bring value to them in that way? And then what kinds of videos are doing well on their channel, right? Everything's not going to hit, just like when you find that you're putting up videos, everything's not going to hit. But what does hit on their channel, right? What is it that people seem to be enjoying from that particular community? And then you want to do just a little bit of keyword research. So SEO. I know it sounds like a scary topic, but it's not as scary as it seems. And SEO just means search engine optimization, right? For example, if I was to make a vegan apple pie, then I would search that first and see if people are actually looking for that, right? If I type in vegan apple and the first thing I see is apple croissant or apple pie or apple galette or apple crumble, then based on what's going to be at the top of those searches are what people might actually be looking for. You also have your YouTube studio, and in your analytics tab, you will find that there is also an inspiration tab there for you. That tool is very helpful because you can search different terms and it'll let you know whether those terms are high volume, low volume, or medium volume, so that you can kind of figure out if there's any content gaps that you need to fill. And then of course there's trending topics. So those trending topics are kind of the things like, I don't know, I noticed at the beginning of last year, there was a lot of, I quit my job, and those seem to get a lot of traction. So things like that, trending topics like, you know, what I eat in a day. In my case, that's what was trending in the food community. And it's starting to dwindle out just a little bit. And now people kind of want to know what you eat in a week, which is a whole lot to tell someone. It's a lot to film, but that's what people are looking for, right? So paying attention to those trending topics. Sometimes I've been able to find trending YouTube topics on Google, where you just Google it, or an interesting place that I found it before is Pinterest, where you might find someone who is like a marketing strategist, and they give you a list of trending YouTube topics at that given time. Of course, you want to check the date of when they published that article to make sure that it's actually trending right now. But yes, you're paying attention to trending topics, and maybe if there's seasonal trends, right? People are shopping right now. You might put together a gift guide, or if you do fashion and everyone is excited about getting dressed in festive attire for the holidays, then you might want to do a video about festive attire for the holidays, or what some really great outfits for New Year's Eve or things like that. So there's always something out there. And then of course, like I said, I use Google, I use Pinterest, but what do you observe as a viewer yourself? When you're using YouTube as a viewer and not a creator, what do you see trending, right? What do you see coming up on your recommend page, on your homepage that's, you know, a topic? And pay attention to those types of things, especially if they are already in your niche. Right, so now that we've established that I've figured out what it is that I want to create, I know that I'm looking for something searchable and trending that I have researched well. Now it's time to film, and sometimes that can be a little tricky, right? And so what I recommend for filming is to try to keep things as clean and concise as possible, right? So if I'm filming a recipe, then like I said, I introduce myself. I might put some clips at the beginning of the video of what it is that I'm making, and then you may want to use attention grabbers. And the reason I say this is that there's this lovely tool or situation that happens, at least when I'm watching YouTube on my television or if I'm on my iPad, is that that video can start to play a little bit before I click on it to view it. And I think it gives you about 10 to 15 seconds, maybe even as much as 30 seconds to grab someone's attention to get into that video. So some attention grabbers that I have used is filming making coffee in a cinematic way or making my matcha in a cinematic way. Just something to kind of pull my audience in and kind of get them curious about what else is coming in the video, right? I mean, of course, my title is telling them what's happening, but maybe they're like, I haven't seen it presented in this way before. And so you want something that's going to grab their attention from the start. And like I said, it could be something cinematic where you're doing different clips of, you know, making something or getting dressed or something like that. Or it can be showing some quick clips at the beginning of your video so that people know what's coming. So sort of a recap in reverse where you're telling people what it is that they're going to be able to see and kind of keeping it quick so that people kind of see, okay, maybe you can do 5 to 10 clips where they know, oh, they're going to make that, they're going to bake that, or she's going to wear this, or they're going to do that activity. Something that's going to pull your audience in. And another thing is be yourself. And this sometimes takes some practice, right? So try to avoid code switching or manufactured enthusiasm, especially if that's not your personality. If you're a really laid back person, make laid back videos. If you're a really enthusiastic or vibrant person, make vibrant, enthusiastic videos, because you want people who are gonna enjoy your personality to watch you. And the more you make these videos, the more comfortable you should become with being relaxed and kind of being yourself. And you don't want to start out one way and then kind of go sailing to the left in a completely different direction. So be your absolute self. Speak in the tone of voice that you usually speak in. Use your accent. I have an accent that is not coming through as much right now, probably because I've started code switching in the middle of this video, right? And it's something that I actively have to work on, mostly because, you know, I work in the corporate world. And so when you're out in the corporate world, you might find yourself kind of subduing your accent or subduing, you know, that twang that you have. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm still trying to stop doing it right now. And so bring us you. Show the world you. And then that way, I mean, because this is your space, right? This is your area to create and to have fun. Be your absolute self in the videos. Have fun, right? You want people to like you for who you are. You want people to connect with you for who you are. So just speak the way you speak, right? Do how you do. Let that accent come through and let that personality come through. So that is what I can say for filming, because as you do more, you're going to get better. I can't tell you exactly what to put in your videos to make them, you know, kind of perfect for everyone, because you want to make sure that you're doing something that's true to what your creative vision is. This is just to kind of help you get started. Now that you filmed and you're almost ready, you're almost ready to put up your video, you want to start thinking about your titles and your descriptions. And so that keyword research that we did in the beginning, looking for topics and looking for what is trending and what people are searching for, you're going to want to include those words in your title. And so in my case, my titles, if I'm filming a what I eat in a day and I focused on something specific, like right now, everyone is really interested in high protein. People are starting to lift more and do a lot more muscle workouts. So they're looking to include more protein into their diet. So I want to make sure that, if I'm doing a what I eat in a day and I'm highlighting or I'm making meals that are high protein, I want to make sure that I highlight that in my title. So your title could be something like, you know, what I eat for weight loss, if that's the journey that you're on and people are going to be on that journey. I try to avoid that because I know it's really triggering for some people, but what I eat while I train, or if you are doing fashion, then, you know, what I'm wearing, or get ready with me for New Year's Eve party or something like that. But make sure you're including the things that might be going along with it. You don't want it to just be what I eat in a day. period, right? You don't want it to just be apple pie, what I eat, or apple pie. If I'm making an apple pie recipe, then apple pie, the most delicious apple pie recipe, or super easy to make vegan apple pie recipe, right? Something that's gonna kind of make that video stand out to others, but also usually people are searching for those terms like easy, simple, fast, 30-minute, those kinds of things you're gonna add on to your titles. And then your description, of course, is you letting people know what it is that's going on in that video. It doesn't have to be a whole like transcription of what's going on in the video, but you're telling people what is going on in that video. So I might put down something like, today I show you what it is that I'm eating on a lazy day, or what it is that I am eating when I am training for a marathon, or something like that. And then you might include, these are the recipes, or this is, these are some of the ingredients that I used, or, zhuzhing it up like this very delicious thing. And then, of course, you're leaving things like your links. If you have a website, make sure to always put your link. If you've got a freebie, put your link, different things like that. And then, like I said, using as much keywords as you possibly can. So like I said, if it's that high protein, make sure that you put that in the description. You might even want to put down how many grams of protein is in each individual dish or snack or whatever it is that you're eating. If you are doing fashion, then you might list what it is that you wore and where you got it from, and maybe a little bit about why you like those particular outfits, or where those outfits can be worn, the different types of parties. You can wear it at a Christmas party or a Hanukkah party, or you can wear them, at your New Year's Eve party, or your Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, whatever it is, all these different things. And so you want to make sure that you're including as much of that as possible, but you do want to avoid keyword stuffing. So you don't want to just get all the keywords and put them all into the description where they don't really make sense. If someone was reading it, it wouldn't be a cohesive sentence. But make sure that whatever it is that you're putting in your description or your title is 100% relevant to the video that you just made. Because what we really don't want to do is say that something is in a video that's not in a video, or put something down in the description that's not mentioned in the video at all. Now on to thumbnails. I feel like people don't talk about thumbnails enough. And I'm not really sure why. There's a lot of conversation about how to grow your YouTube channel, but I feel like I don't see enough conversation about thumbnails, and maybe that will start to happen a little bit more. But yes, so with your thumbnail, you want high quality images. Yes, I stand on this. High quality images. You want high quality images that are kind of a little bit of what it is that has happened in the video. So like I said, I'm going to keep referring back to food because I make food videos. A lot of my recipes that I make are already on my blog. And so I've actually taken the time to do photographs with my Canon, with my actual photography camera a lot of times, to shoot those particular recipes or dishes. Now, you don't have to do that. You could literally use your iPhone and make sure to stop in the middle of your video or take a picture. Like at some point, I'm gonna have to in the middle of the video so that I have a thumbnail for this, right? But what I'm gonna do, even if I do a thumbnail on my video like this, then I'm gonna make sure that I take that, run it through some type of editing or photography app. Please take time to get the color right, make sure it's bright and vibrant, or whatever your mood is. If it's moody, make it moody. Whatever it is, take time to edit it and make sure that it is a nice quality thumbnail. If you're scrolling through and you're seeing all of these different thumbnails, I think the one that's going to catch your eye the most is the one that actually is clear. You can see a little bit of what's happening in that video. Whether if someone's doing their skincare routine, there's a nice like flat lay of maybe what it is that they're using. They're showing their face or something like that. A little bit of effort goes a long way sometimes. And I think high quality images are good. depending on the type of content you make, show yourself in the thumbnail. Like, make sure that you're there too, so people know who you are. I like to smile in mine, but I've seen where people use catchy expressions like a surprised face, or they're, looking kind of surprised or something like that. And that is helpful too. It kind of grabs people's attention. And then making sure that your text overlays, because I think it's also good for you to put not just the title, down where the title goes, but also putting a title over your thumbnail so that people can see that as well. Because I feel like sometimes we don't always read the title that's underneath. We see the picture first because a lot of us are visual people. And so clear text overlay, I think, is going to be really good, easy to read. So nothing that's too much in cursive where maybe someone might not be able to read that very well. Letters that are just easy to read. Okay, so now you have put up videos and you are kind of in flow, hopefully. At this point, you're going to start paying close attention to your analytics. And the reason you want to pay really close to your attention to your analytics is because you want to see what's working and what's not working, right? You don't want to get into a rut or get into spinning your wheels where you're creating the same thing, but it's not really bringing you any results. Once you've gotten about 3 or 4 videos up, you want to pay attention to things like your click-through rate, your view count, and then your average watch time. I've noticed for me personally, when I have a click-through rate of 3% or higher, my videos tend to do a little bit better. And if my click-through rate is, 3.5 or higher, I'm really having a good view day for that particular video. So pay attention to little things like that, because it kind of will help you understand, like, okay, not only are people watching this, but when they're clicking through and they're watching my other videos, they must really like what it is that they're seeing, and you may want to do more of that. Number 9. So consistency and scheduling. I know that you have heard probably 50,000 times, consistency, consistency, consistency. But I have to tell you, there's no getting around the consistency. If you make a decision that you are going to upload once a week, you need to upload once a week. If you make a decision that you're going to upload twice a week, upload twice a week. Or if you're uploading once every 2 weeks, whatever schedule that you have shared with your audience and that you've put on your page or that you've started to do, you need to stick to that. And I can't tell you enough how daunting that can be, especially because life does happen. So you'll have to be really intentional about it. Throughout my building process, 2 times, only 2 times did I miss an upload. During those times, I noticed that when I missed an upload, that I would go from a couple thousand views to 500 views. And yes, it's still good to get those many views, but at the same time, when you are trying to get your watch hours and you're trying to get your subscribers, you really can't risk YouTube kind of pulling you off the stage because you miss an upload. So as much as I would love to say that consistency doesn't matter, it does. At least it's true for me that the consistency of it definitely mattered for me. And then there is scheduling, scheduling out your time. So I work a 9 to 5, so I had to be really intentional about what day I'm going to film, what day I'm going to edit, what day I'm going to sit down and make sure that I write out a good title and caption, right? Especially since I am including recipes. So it could take me an hour and a half to sit and write a description because I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting the recipe and the instructions in the description, which I'm trying to get away from because I should pretty much be directing people over to over to my blog. And that should already be outlined for them there. However, sometimes life happens and I don't get them up, but that's beside the point. Writing out your caption, all of the things that you need to do, creating your thumbnail, editing the photos that you've taken for your thumbnail, all of that takes some time. And I think it's interesting because I don't think people always realize how much work actually goes into doing YouTube. It really takes a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and it takes a lot of real scheduling, real intention. And so you'll want to make sure that you're setting out a day or 2 to film and to edit. I work pretty much conventional hours. I'd say that I leave my house at about 6:30 a.m. and I don't come home until almost 4 o'clock p.m. With my commute time. And so I know what I can do when I get off work, right? I don't usually film on days that I am working, because by the time I leave from work, I am drained. But I might have some energy to write out my caption and those types of things, or I might have time to create my thumbnail, which isn't as arduous. Like, I could do that while I'm sitting in front of, Bob's Burgers or something like that. So make sure that you take time to schedule out and set time. This is my filming day. This is my planning day. This is this and that. So that okay, every Saturday I'm filming, and then every Sunday I'm editing, or whatever it is, so that you can make sure that your video is ready to go every week, so that you can stay on that consistency train. Because when you're consistent, you're telling YouTube that you are a creator, that you're not just doing this as a hobby. All right. And then last but not least, number 10, which I could argue might be number 1. Establish your why. Why are you wanting to share what it is that you have to share? Why are you doing this, right? You want to know why you are about to subject yourself to the level of commitment and work you're about to commit yourself to before you do it. Because frankly, and I know we live in a capitalistic society, wanting to just make money it's not the only thing, right? There has to be more to that. And even if you want to make money, why do you want or need to make that money, right? If I say that I'm creating videos because I want to make money, okay, I want to make money because I want to be able to live in a better neighborhood, or I want to be able to retire early and put more money away for retirement, or I want to be able to retire my parents, whatever it is, right? Because it could start out as, I just really want to make some money, but why do you want to make that money, right? Because let's be real. Let's be very real and very frank. If I ask someone why they want to do YouTube, or why we're all creating these things, why I have my blog, all of this stuff, I'm trying to create a business that is going to earn money at the end of the day, right? And so I can't say, don't do it for the money. Of course, you're going to do it partially for the money, right? But you have to understand, what is that money for? What is it going to do for you that you're looking forward to, right? That I can cling to. Now, in my case, it's not completely because of the money. And I know it sounds kind of like virtuous to try to say that, but it isn't only because of the money. Like, yes, I feel like I should earn money doing something that I care about, which in my case is vegan eating and vegan food, and eating a little bit better and kind of leaving the animals alone a bit, right? So like for me, I created Quirky Pineapples because I wanted to share food that had been making me feel better. I am not a spring chicken, and my plant-based journey has been really great for me, right? I've always enjoyed cooking and baking. It was something that I grew up doing with my aunt, and she's long gone, but I feel like she would be really proud of seeing me in the kitchen in the way that we used to spend time in the kitchen. And then along the way of this journey, I have found so much joy in the person that I've become. Like, I know people will say, oh my gosh, YouTube changed my life, but it really did. I started out the beginning of this year on this journey wanting to be a much braver person than I was before. And I knew that I needed to be brave in order to grow Quirky Pineapples to what it is that I want her to be. Yes, she's a her. My food blog and all of that. And I wanted to be able to get Quirky Pineapples in front of as many people as possible, because I feel like I have something good to offer, right? I'm a good cook. I'm a phenomenal cook. I am a phenomenal baker. And no one's gonna know that if I'm not brave enough to put the camera on and show what my skills are, right? Or lead them to the blog that I had been hiding for, 3 years before I started the YouTube channel. And yes, of course, I want to earn money. For me, I want location independence, and that drives me because I want to be able to live anywhere at any time. And I want to be able to run my own business, and I really want to create something special for myself. And so tap into that part of yourself. And also think about what it is that you want to offer to others. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna be exhausted and you're not gonna wanna do it. And I'm telling you just from experience. And the thing that's gonna get you up and that's gonna get you in front of the camera, that's gonna get you sitting down editing for hours is your why. That's what it's gonna take, right? So set some intention to what it is that you wanna do here on YouTube and think about how not only you can make money, but how you can serve your audience, right? Because if you're not offering anything that's worth receiving, then I mean, it's gonna show, right? And if you're not passionate about what it is that you're putting out there, it's gonna show, right? So when I'm filming my videos, and especially at the very beginning, when there was no audience, right? When there was 24 people and I'm pretty sure they were my friends or my homegirls, is I imagine myself talking to my friends, talking to my homegirls, wanting them to try these recipes that I'm making, wanting them to eat more vegetables, right? Like I have a sister and I love her dearly, and I know she's probably gonna watch this, but my sister loves her meat. She loves her meat. And I'm not necessarily trying to convert her by any means, but I know there's things like tofu and she's just like, I can't with tofu. But I'll know that I have like hit the pinnacle if I can get my sister to eat some tofu, right? And so that's what you're imagining. You're imagining that person in your audience that is gonna comment one day and be like, I hated tofu until you did this. Or I didn't know how to style myself until I started watching your videos. Or I was terrible at doing makeup until I saw your videos. And that's gonna be the thing that's gonna help keep you going. And knowing that not only are you setting out on your personal goal, but you're also setting out to help others in whatever way that it is. And so you want to think about how you're contributing along with reaching those goals. So I truly, truly hope that you found this to be helpful in your YouTube journey, and I'm wishing you luck and I'm cheering you on, because I know that if you're watching this video, it's because you're trying to grow something that I'm sure is going to be phenomenal and is going to help the people in your community, right? And so good luck on your journey. I hope that you found this helpful. If you would like to see any of my other content that of course is food related, because this is not food related, but if you would like to see any of my other content that is of course food related, or seeing me build this blog, because I'm actually going to show more of building my blog and what that looks like behind the scenes, because there's so much that goes into that. Because now that I've tackled YouTube, it's time to tackle monetizing that lovely blog of mine and showing you all that it takes to do that. And hopefully I'll be back up here soon to tell you how much greater I've done and how much more I've grown this baby of mine that I care so much about. So if you want to see more of my journey as a content creator, or if you want to just see some bomb delicious vegan food and recipes, then like and subscribe and hang out with me, become a part of the journey here, and we can continue to cheer each other on and lift each other up, and you can eat some real good food in the meantime too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.